The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Alongside Carson-Newman women's basketball coach Mike Mincey, I'm Michael Watring, and this is the Eagles Sports Network as Carson-Newman releases its 2018-19 schedule. Coach, you look at this year's schedule, a little unbalanced in the way that it shakes out in terms of home-road games. First semester, 2 games at home to start the year, then 9 of the next 11 are on the road, and then the second semester you get 11 of 15 at home. What, if anything, does that do for this year's group?
I mean, I don't know. Obviously it's going to be a very challenging schedule. Just the way it worked out in terms of home and away games, that we owe back, say, to Columbus and got to go to Shorter, different things like that. But, of course, the Lander-Aiken, that little Peach Belt Challenge is coming back to us this year. Thank goodness, or we probably wouldn't have any home games. But some teams are built for it, some aren't. I feel like if there's a year that we have to play a schedule like that, especially in the first semester, it would be this year's team with all the experience we have coming back. And then, of course, if we can get through that first semester in good shape, then we go into the second semester, we're going to have a lot of games at home. It should be a good run down January and February. You mentioned some of the teams that you're playing there. Well, the region champions 2 years ago, Columbus stayed on the schedule, the team you had to beat for the region championship. North Georgia, you go back there yet again. You beat them twice last season. You've always played these difficult schedules to try to position yourself for region games. Going through what you went through last year, how do you learn from last season and try to take it into this year, knowing how important playing at home ended up being for your team? Well, we never really realized just how important playing that regional at home would be. I don't think that we played all that great here, but having that home court advantage in the crowd was certainly something that helped propel us to the Elite Eight and win that regional championship. So I was always told a long time ago that if you want to have a chance to make the NCAA tournament, potentially host, you've got to play a difficult schedule. You can't getting into the Peach Belt and playing some of the stronger teams in the Peach Belt is something that we like to do. It kind of gives you an indicator of where you're at as a program in general, and we like playing those good teams. It's nice coming out of those games if you can get the victory, feeling like you achieved something because you are playing quality opponents and quality teams, and this year's schedule is going to be no different in terms of how difficult that schedule is going to be. 28 regular season games, but 2 exhibition games. You get North Carolina back in the fold this year, Tennessee. How do you use those 2 games this year where maybe more so than in years past, there's a little bit of a target on your chest because of what you were able to accomplish last year, and you scored 76 points at UT last year? Right. Playing Carolina and Tennessee obviously is always exciting for our program. It gives us good notoriety, especially the Tennessee game, just being right down the road and as many local players as we have. But I don't know. This year's different. We've talked about it since basically April of last spring, that this is going to be a different animal for us this year, that we have a huge target on our back. Last year we came in, we were picked 4th in the league. We weren't receiving any votes in the top 25. We kind of snuck up on people for about half of the season. And then this year it's completely different. I think a lot of people have probably circled us on their schedule possibly. I know I would if I was playing somebody that had the year that we had and expecting a lot out of us this year. But Carolina, Tennessee, we want to go and be competitive. They are what they are. They're guaranteed games. They provide good money into our budget for us, but the kids also enjoy the experience. You lost twice in the regular season last year. Your very first 2 conference games are on the road in the places that you lost in the regular season, LMU and Wingate. Right. To start the year like that, how does that add some extra motivation to begin the season, not only the regular season, but the conference season on a high note? Well, I think not only that, but we play, at Columbus and we got at North Georgia, which are NCAA tournament teams. You go to LMU, you go to Wingate. This is all, I guess before December, I think it is. It's going to let us know where we're at early on. The good thing about it is if somehow or another you get out of those games with wins, that's huge early in the first of the part of the year, and then you're going to the second part of the year feeling good about yourself. If you cough those games up, it is what it is. You still got a lot of games left to play, a lot of season to go. But I think this is probably one of the more challenging schedules we've had since I've been the head coach in terms of the teams that we have to go play on the road. That are very good teams, and they're going to be highly ranked in their own conference, say in the Peach Belt. Of course, LMU and Wingate are going to be probably ranked right up there pretty high in our conference as well. So good challenge early on. I think our kids are excited to get started. Of course, right now we're just in the preseason, so not doing too much stuff. But look forward to a very challenging schedule, and hopefully we can get through it. I don't know if last year was what it is, and this year's just going to be a totally different year. I wish we could go 32-3. We'll see, but I can't guarantee that. Obviously, a lot of things got to play in our favor.
You have one of the longest home winning streaks in the country. You haven't lost in a couple years at home. The first semester, as we mentioned, very road heavy. If you can get through that with an excellent record, do you feel like that second semester is really the opportunity to separate yourselves from the rest of the league?
Yeah, if you look at our schedule, you got to be honest. If somehow or another we get through the first semester with some key victories against some really quality opponents, knowing that you get to be at home so much in the second semester in a place that I think we won 24 straight, and we played really well at home, played really well, especially last year at home, scored the ball really well, more so at home than we do on the road. You got to like where we're at. So it's kind of, you take one game at a time, obviously, but you're looking at that first semester. You come out of that first semester with a good record, and then you're getting to be at home so much in the second semester. I think that'll just give us – it'll be a good Christmas if we can do well in the first semester, knowing we get to come back and play in Holt Fieldhouse so much in the second semester.
Coach, appreciate the time. We'll catch up with you in a few weeks.
Thank you, Michael.
He's Mike Mincey. I'm Michael Watchring, and this is the Eagle Sports Network.